Welcome to Vacuum Wars, and to a special news edition where I'll address the big headline around the company that first brought robot vacuums into the mainstream home market, iRobot. iRobot has officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and has been acquired by their primary secured lender, the China-based robotics manufacturer Picea. I'm going to talk about what this news means, what it doesn't mean, and what you can expect as a current or even future iRobot customer. iRobot was founded in 1990 by three MIT roboticists, Rodney Brooks, Colin Angle, and Helen Grainer. In the early days, they focused on research and military robots, but expanded into home robotics with their launch of the Roomba robot vacuum in 2002, pioneering a whole new industry. Roomba quickly became a household name. Even the word Roomba was basically a synonym for robot vacuum for many years. Nearly 20 years later, after running into some financial struggles, iRobot entered into a deal with Amazon in 2022. The retail website agreed to acquire iRobot, however, the deal was canceled over regulatory issues. In addition, although iRobot pioneered the robot vacuum in the first place, other companies began to overtake them in innovation. For example, iRobot was a very late adopter of LiDAR navigation, which was a major improvement for robot vacuum efficiency. In an effort to solve some of its financial troubles, iRobot entered into a lending agreement with Picea, a China-based robotics company that was already manufacturing robots for iRobot. Picea builds robots for other brands as well, and Picea Robotics is the company behind the 3i robot vacuums, a few of which we have reviewed on this channel before. This leads us to December 14th, 2025, when iRobot officially announced that it was filing for a prepackaged Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This is a quick form of bankruptcy where the deal has already been negotiated and the process is expected to conclude by February of 2026. The terms of the deal are pretty clear. Picea will acquire 100% ownership of iRobot, canceling the debt iRobot owed them and ensuring other creditors are paid in full through the restructuring. Now, what exactly does this mean for current and even future iRobot customers? It's important to know that this is not a shutdown of iRobot. This bankruptcy and acquisition does not mean that iRobot is going out of business. Quite the opposite, in fact. The company expects to continue normal operations just without the pressures of rising debt. iRobot is assuring its customers that its apps will keep working, warranties and customer service will continue, and supply chains and product development is ongoing, with product development continuing and future releases expected in 2026. We received assurances from iRobot's communications team that as far as customers are concerned, they should expect operations to be, quote, business as usual. They still have their employees, they will continue occupying their headquarters in Bedford, Massachusetts, and next year's Roomba robots are currently in production. We still have a lot of questions about what iRobot's priorities as far as the new products themselves will be. I'm very curious to see what iRobot's next move will be in this regard. It's going to be interesting to see if Picea can rebuild the iRobot brand and get it back on the cutting edge of the robot vacuum industry. I also want to acknowledge that iRobot was one of the few remaining robot vacuum brands headquartered and owned in the US. With its transition to new ownership, that group has grown even smaller, leaving companies like Shark and Bissell, along with startups like Matic, as some of the last remaining American-based names in the space. In short, iRobot as a business is not dead, just massively restructured, and I'll be watching with great interest to see what iRobot releases in the coming year. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you go, and give this video a like if you like this news format.